everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Prosper channel, where we talk about prosperity life hacks. I'm Isabella.
And I'm Dave. It's great to be back with all of you. How are you doing today, Isabella?
I'm doing fantastic, Dave. I'm feeling really energized and ready to dive into our topic for today. It's a bit of a thought-provoking one, but I think it's incredibly important in our modern world.
You've piqued my curiosity. What have we got on the agenda today?
Well, today we're going to be talking about the idea of no secrecy within the family. Specifically, we'll explore how having free access across devices among family members can help us be more prosperous, both emotionally and financially.
Wow, that is a big topic. When you say free access across devices, you mean things like knowing each other's passcodes, sharing computer logins, that sort of thing.
Exactly. It's about creating an environment of openness and transparency, where there are no hidden corners in our digital lives, at least within the family unit. And before we jump in, a quick reminder to our wonderful listeners, if you enjoy our conversations, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and share this episode with someone who might find it helpful. Your support means the world to us.
Yes, it really does. So, no secrecy. I can already imagine some people feeling a little uncomfortable with that idea. The idea of privacy is so ingrained in our culture.
I completely understand that, and it's a valid point. This isn't about a lack of trust, but rather a way to build even stronger trust. Think about it, Dave. When we willingly open up our digital lives to our partner, for example, we're sending a powerful message. We're saying, I have nothing to hide. You are my priority, and our relationship is more important than any private digital space.
I see what you're getting at. It's a gesture of ultimate trust and commitment. So how does this translate to emotional prosperity? Let's start with spouses. You mentioned it could reduce the chances of affairs. That's a bold claim.
It is, but let's break it down. Affairs, especially in their early stages, often thrive in secrecy. They start with a secret message, a hidden conversation. When you have a policy of open access to devices, it removes that breeding ground for secrecy. It's not about constantly checking up on your partner, but the knowledge that you can creates a layer of accountability.
That makes sense. It's like if you knew your partner could see your messages at any time, you'd be much less likely to engage in a conversation that you know is inappropriate. It's a preventative measure.
Precisely. It's about protecting the relationship. A friend of mine and her husband have this policy. She told me that at first it felt a bit strange, but now she says it's incredibly freeing. She never has to wonder or worry. There's a deep sense of security and peace of mind that comes with that level of openness. They feel more connected than ever.
Wow, that's a powerful testimony. And I can see how that would lead to emotional prosperity. That feeling of security and deep trust is priceless. It allows you to focus your energy on building a positive and loving relationship rather than wasting it on suspicion or anxiety.
Exactly. And it's not just about preventing negative things like infidelity. It's also about fostering positive connection. If my husband sees a funny video, he can just grab my phone and send it to himself. If I need to look up a recipe and my hands are covered in flour, I can ask him to use my tablet. It creates a sense of shared life, not separate digital lives running in parallel.
That's a really good point. It breaks down those little walls that technology can sometimes build between us, even when we're in the same room. We've all seen that couple at a restaurant both silently scrolling on their phones. An open device policy could encourage more shared digital experiences.
Yes, and that brings us to the financial side of things. How can this no secrecy approach lead to financial prosperity?
The money talk. This is a big one for a lot of couples. Financial infidelity is a real thing. Hiding purchases, having secret credit cards, or making secret investments can be just as damaging as a romantic affair.
Absolutely. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of divorce, and just like with emotional affairs, financial secrecy thrives in the dark. An open device policy can bring it all into the light. If you share online banking apps and have access to each other's email, it's much harder to hide financial activities.
I can see that. It promotes transparency and forces you to have open conversations about money. When everything's on the table, you have to work as a team. You have to discuss big purchases, create a budget together, and be accountable to each other for your spending habits.
Yes, and that teamwork is the foundation of financial prosperity for a couple. It's not about one person controlling the other spending, it's about shared goals in mutual respect. When you're both working towards the same financial future, whether it's saving for a house, investing for retirement, or planning a dream vacation, you're so much more likely to succeed.
That's so true. It builds a sense of we're in this together. A friend of mine and his wife started their marriage with a lot of student loan debt. They made a pact to be completely open about their finances. They shared everything, every login, every statement. He told me it was tough at times having to justify every little purchase, but it ultimately brought them closer. They tackled that debt as a team, and now they're in a fantastic financial position. He credits their radical transparency for their success.
What a great story. It really illustrates the power of this approach. It's about building a foundation of trust and communication that extends to all areas of your life, including your finances. And when you have that, you have a solid base for both emotional and financial prosperity.
Okay, so we've talked about spouses. What about the rest of the family? You mentioned teenagers and younger kids. This is where it gets even more interesting and perhaps a bit more controversial.
Okay, let's dive into the world of teenagers. The teenage years are a time of exploration and, let's be honest, sometimes poor decision making. As parents, we want to give them freedom and help them become independent, but we also want to keep them safe.
It's a delicate balance. So how does a no secrecy policy with devices fit into that? I can already hear the arguments now. You don't trust me, you're invading my privacy.
And those are valid feelings for a teenager to have. The key is how you frame it. It's not about spying, it's about safety and guidance. It's about having an ongoing conversation about the digital world. An open device policy can be a tool to facilitate those conversations.
So how would that work in practice? Are we talking about daily phone checks?
Not necessarily. It's more about establishing the expectation that you as the parent have access to their devices. It's a condition of them having the privilege of a smartphone or a laptop. You can explain that it's not because you want to read all their conversations with their friends, but because you want to be there to help them navigate the challenges of the online world.
I see. So it's a bit like having a learner's permit for a car. You let them drive, but you're in the passenger seat ready to grab the wheel if they're about to make a dangerous turn.
That's a perfect analogy, Dave. And just like with driving, you gradually give them more independence as they demonstrate responsible behavior. But in the beginning, that oversight is crucial. It can help them from getting into situations they're not equipped to handle, like cyberbullying, sexting, or connecting with dangerous people online.
I can see how that would give a parent some peace of mind. And if a teenager knows that their parents might see what they're doing online, they're more likely to think twice before posting something inappropriate or engaging in a risky behavior. It's that accountability piece again.
Exactly. It's about helping them develop their own internal filter. A family I know has a tech-free zone in their home, and at a certain time every night, all devices, including the parents, are placed in a charging basket in the kitchen. This not only encourages face-to-face interaction, but also gives the parents a natural opportunity to check in on their kids' digital lives if they have concerns.
That's a great practical tip. It's not confrontational, it's just part of the family routine. And it models that everyone is following the same rules, which is important for teenagers.
Yes, it is. It shows that transparency is a family value, not just a rule imposed on the kids. And over time, as you have these open conversations and build that trust, you might not need to check their devices as often. The goal is to raise digitally responsible adults, and this approach can be a powerful tool in that process.
I agree. It's about teaching them to be prosperous in their decision-making, to make choices that will lead to positive outcomes in their lives.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And that brings us to our youngest family members, the little ones who are just starting to explore the digital world. How do we keep them safe from inappropriate content?
This is a huge concern for so many parents. The internet is a vast and wonderful place, but it also has its dark corners. And kids are naturally curious.
They are. And while parental controls and filters are helpful, they're not foolproof. A no secrecy approach with younger children is a bit different than with teenagers. It's more about supervision and shared experiences.
So you're saying that young children should only be using devices in a common area of the house where a parent can easily see what they're doing?
Absolutely. For young children, screen time should be a shared activity as much as possible. Sit with them while they play a game or watch a show. Talk to them about what they're seeing. This not only helps you monitor the content they're consuming, but also turns screen time into a bonding experience.
That makes so much sense. It's like reading a book together. You wouldn't just hand a young child a book and walk away. You'd sit with them, point at the pictures, and read the words aloud. We should treat digital content in the same way.
Exactly. And when they're a bit older and start to use devices more independently, the principle of no secrecy still applies. They should know that you can and will check their device history. Again, this isn't about a lack of trust. It's about safety. It's about teaching them to be discerning consumers of digital content.
I can see how this would help them develop a healthy relationship with technology from a young age. If they're used to their parents being involved in their digital lives, it won't feel like a sudden invasion of privacy when they become teenagers.
That's the hope. It's about building a foundation of openness and communication that will serve them well throughout their lives. When we remove the element of secrecy, we create a space for connection, trust, and growth. And that, in my opinion, is the essence of a prosperous family life.
I couldn't agree more, Isabella. This has been a really enlightening conversation. The idea of no secrecy might seem radical to some, but when you break it down, it's really about prioritizing our family relationships in a world that is becoming increasingly digital and, at times, isolating.
Well said, Dave. It's about making a conscious choice to be open and vulnerable with the people who matter most. It's a powerful life hack for building a truly prosperous life from the inside out.
It certainly is. This gives me a lot to think about.
Me too. And to our wonderful listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Do you have a no secrecy policy in your family? How has it worked for you? Share your experiences in the comments below.
And if you found this conversation helpful, please consider subscribing to Mr. Prosper channel, giving us a thumbs up, and sharing this episode with your friends and family. Your support helps us continue to bring you content that we hope inspires and empowers you.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Mr. Prosper Channel.
Bye for now.